So next up we have Tamara. Tamara is an Unreal Authorized Instructor who's passionate about virtual production and game development. Recently, Tamara completed in the first, recently, Tamara completed the Unreal Fellowship Animation Program. She was also one of the lead Unreal instructors for Canada's first Indigenous virtual production Microcredital program through IM4 Lab and Emily Carr University. She provided virtual training, was the ICVFX Lead for the in-person training and production held there. In her spare time, she loves developing tools in Unreal using Python, UMG, and blueprints. She values bringing her knowledge and skill set to help others thrive in the industry and be part of the community. She strives to always be learning and growing in this ever-evolving industry. Tamara. I'm going to go here. We're going to take this, detach it, make it full screen, move it over, go back to here, and go. Ooh. I don't know if you have. Do you have any notes?
I don't. I'm just well, speaking.
You can see a little bit of the thing there then.
Okay, perfect. All right, everyone can hear me? Yes, we're good. We're golden. All right. Yes, I'm going to be talking about Unreal. It might explode your laptops, but that's okay. I'm really pumped to give you so many goodies today. Today's just a talk about giving you stuff and things that I wish I knew when I was learning Unreal. So this is my journey, and you're not alone because I'm here for you. That's what this whole talk is. So my journey so far, who the heck am I? I'm an Unreal Authorized Instructor. I love teaching and I love sharing my knowledge with people. I am recently certified from the first Unreal Animation Fellowship, which was insanity. And there's going to be more of that later on. I have industry and teaching experience in virtual production, which was super awesome and super cool. I've participated in multiple game jams as well, so a lot of this knowledge pertains to things I've learned along the way that have really helped me. And as a recent fellow, I have tips to help first-time game jammers and anyone diving into Unreal Engine for the first time. So my first tip is the right places to go. Keep tabs on this because this all ties in together. So the first thing that I want to bring up is Unreal has a fantastic developer community. There is so many great, wonderful tutorials, but the first thing I'm going to mention is make sure that your filter is on the epic filter because you can get lost. I mean, there's a lot of great community tutorials, but to get things really concise and jam-packed for especially in a situation like a game jam, it's going to help you tremendously, especially if you're first diving into Unreal. The documentation, that is such a fantastic resource. I know a lot of you maybe aren't into the nitty-gritty of reading things, but the documentation has helped me so much in my learning, and I use it alongside the Epic developer community. So that's just another thing I want you to keep in mind in your toolkit. And the Epic Games Marketplace content. There is a load of great content that you can use, and I'm going to make that into my next segue, that there is free stuff. Take advantage of the free stuff. You want free content every single month on the Epic Games Marketplace? They have free stuff all the time. I've missed content from certain months and wished I had that content. So definitely check it out. Every month they post free stuff that you can use in your projects, and you may find something really great that can help you learn a new skill set or use in your project. It's completely free. Fellow tip number 3, templates are your friend, and they're my best friend. When I was first learning Unreal, it was super overwhelming. Do I make a blank project? Do I start from scratch? But how do I understand, how this engine is working and what all these components are doing in my project? The best way to learn is to explore these templates. If you have an idea of what your game is, make one of those templates that represent that game. Look into the code, look into the assets, how they're building that project. And this can also help build functionality early on. You may take snippets of certain aspects of that project, and you can use that in your own development. And as well, something I love to bring up all the time, the Unreal feature samples. I download these all the time and dive into the blueprints, trying to understand, how they're building things so I can go and create my own content. And this is how I learn new features all the time. So again, I know I love bringing up Unreal 5, but PCG, which is the procedural content generation, the new feature in Unreal Engine 5, the project sample is fantastic and has different levels based on different ways that they've built the environment that's completely procedural. That's something you can definitely dive into. My next tip is my personal favorites, content that you could look into on the Unreal developer community that has really helped me and where I want to pursue, my skill set and grow as a person. So if you're into programming, I know I am. If you haven't heard of blueprints, this is a great beginner-friendly way to get into programming. It's node-based, it's visual, and it's essentially C++ under the hood. So my personal favorites, there's this, I have to look on the screen here. You can build a third-person character from scratch. It goes through all the nodes for building a player controller, essentially, in Unreal. There's also how to create a control rig. So if you're posing characters and creating animations and maybe you have a cinematic in your scene, this is how you can begin to rig in Unreal Engine. And lastly, there is the blueprints for game designers. So maybe there's a certain interaction that you want to implement in your game. That's a really great starting point in understanding how that works. Fellow tip number 5. So I'm so pumped to share this. Oh my gosh. So the latest fellowship has actually been released for free online, which is like the first time that has ever happened in the history of the fellowship. So if you're really wanting to dive into animation, this is just a bit of a segue, but you can essentially go through what I went through all for free on the developer community, which I highly recommend. It was an amazing experience. I don't know what this slide is. I think something's happening here. There's a secret fellow tip. What's this? Come see me in person. Oh, okay, all right. Yes, you have to come see me in person because the industry is going through a really tough time right now, and all of us may be going through something where you're struggling to find resources. Time is tight. I want to do something amazing for all of you. I'm going to be sharing something to do with animation and motion capture. I wonder what that can be. I'm going to be sharing with you over 400 motion capture data files. And all these files are from people who've participated in the fellowship and data that we've captured in using animations. So if there is something you need for your project, I want to be able to provide that for you. And you can, again, going back to Unreal Engine, if you're building an animation blueprint, think of how this will save you so much time, and you're going to be able to blend through so much different content. So if that's something you're interested in, please come see me and I can help you in finding animation that you may need for your project. So thank you so much. I can't wait to see what everyone creates and go make something super epic and cool.